If you keep meeting pain in people, you're not cursed, you're repeating. Until your inner world changes, love can't feel safe. The pattern isn't in them, it's in what you carry. Fix the inside and the outside transforms with it. Every relationship you've ever had was born inside your imagination before it became real. Your assumptions, wounds, beliefs, these are the architects of every connection you attract. You don't meet people randomly. You meet reflections, mirrors, echoes of what your subconscious has accepted as normal, even if it hurts. If you believe you're not enough, you'll meet someone who confirms it. If you expect betrayal, it will show up with a smile. But the moment you stop projecting pain and start embodying healing, love changes its face. You cannot attract healthy love with a heart full of invisible wounds. You might crave intimacy, but if your inner world is flooded with fear, guilt, or self-doubt, the love that enters will reflect that chaos. It won't be a partner you meet first, it will be your unhealed past, dressed in a new name. The only way to change this is to take ownership not of their actions, but of your inner atmosphere. Heal the hurt. Release the bitterness. Forgive what hardened you. Not for them, but so you can become someone who no longer bleeds where they were once cut. Healing is not a waiting room for love, it's the gateway. As you begin to treat yourself with patience, with truth, with compassion, you shift the standard for what you allow in your life. You stop confusing attention with affection. You stop chasing what only drains you. You begin to feel full not because someone fills you, but because you've learned how to hold yourself without falling apart. That kind of energy doesn't attract chaos. It attracts alignment. It draws in people who respect your peace because you now refuse to hand it over so easily. Don't rush into the arms of someone new until you've looked into your own reflection and said, I am whole again. The love you're building starts with how you speak to yourself when no one's listening. It's in how you recover from rejection, how you soothe your own insecurities, how you learn to enjoy your own presence without aching for someone to validate it. When your inner world becomes a sanctuary, the people who enter will either match the peace or leave quickly because they can't tolerate it. You want real love. Create it inside first. Start by removing the beliefs that tell you you're hard to love. Replace the noise with silence. Replace fear with vision. Replace self-judgment with understanding. Feel the love you're waiting for. Live like it's already in you. You're not incomplete. You're just healing. And when that healing becomes real, the relationships you attract will feel like peace, not war. Love is not found. It's remembered. And remembering starts with you. The love you're looking for in someone else is first a home you must build within yourself. Heal the space where you've tolerated less. Heal the patterns you keep replaying. Heal the parts of you that accepted pain because you thought it was all you deserved. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. So become love before demanding it from someone else. Your next relationship isn't written in fate, it's written in your frequency. When your inner world becomes whole, stable, and clear, you become a magnet for something just as whole. You will no longer resonate with chaos. You won't entertain confusion, because what's inside of you will only welcome what mirrors it. Heal deeply, and love will appear easily, not as a rescue, but as a response. So start within. Stop blaming the people. Start building the peace. And once your inner world becomes your sanctuary, the outer world will reflect it in ways that no longer break you but build you. Because when your soul is steady, your relationships will be too. Every connection in your life is a response to your internal energy. The people you meet, the dynamics you enter, the relationships you hold, they're not accidents. They're reflections. What you carry deep within, the world eventually mirrors back. If your heart whispers, I'm not enough, the world will echo that. If you believe love is hard, it will be. But the moment you shift your inner frequency, your outer world must adjust. That's not coincidence, it's alignment. You don't need to chase better relationships. You need to become the version of you who receives them with ease. And that begins with tuning into your emotional landscape, adjusting what you tolerate internally, and correcting the stories you keep repeating to yourself. Every person you draw in is reading your energy long before they hear your words. Heal that energy, and the people around you will shift too. Your vibration is not invisible, it's magnetic. And when it changes, everything does. Sometimes the heart keeps attracting the same kind of hurt because it hasn't healed the source. You may call it bad luck, but it's a pattern playing out like a script written long ago. Until the pain inside is acknowledged, it keeps finding new faces to wear. What we call heartbreak is often just an old wound asking for attention again. And until you learn the lesson, life has no choice but to keep teaching it. You're not meant to suffer endlessly in love, you're meant to awaken. That's why healing is not optional. If you want peace, you can't bandage pain with romance. You can't expect someone to fix what you keep hiding. The only true way forward is inward. Face it, feel it, free it. Because once you tend to the wound, you stop needing people to protect you from it. And that's when love no longer feels like survival, but safety. Imagine your heart as a home. If it's cluttered with fear, resentment, and doubt, love has nowhere to sit. People may enter, but they won't stay. Peace can't exist where chaos lives. And relationships won't thrive if the inner world is loud with unspoken pain. What you haven't healed within yourself will leak into how you treat others and how you let them treat you. You might think you're ready for deep love, but if your mind is still tangled in defense, you'll push away what you prayed for. That's why your peace matters. When your inner world becomes calm, clear, and confident, love will flow into your life like it belongs there. No more chasing, no more questioning, just flow. But that starts with you becoming the calm before expecting someone else to bring it. You are the atmosphere. Set it right, and love will find its way in. Many believe they are unlucky in love, but luck has little to do with repetition. You're not being punished, you're being mirrored. Until you change the way you see yourself, you'll keep finding people who match that broken vision. The cycle isn't punishment. It's a signal to go deeper, a signal to ask, what am I still believing that keeps inviting this pain? Healing begins when you stop blaming others and start rewriting the script. The truth is, we don't attract what we want, we attract what we've normalized. And if your normal has been betrayal, confusion, or abandonment, that's what will keep showing up. But you have the power to interrupt the cycle, to become aware, to choose again. The moment you say, this ends with me, is the moment the pattern loses its grip. You don't need better luck. You need better alignment. No one can make you feel whole if you believe you're incomplete. That's not love, that's attachment. You'll exhaust yourself looking for someone to fill the parts you refuse to love within yourself. But wholeness doesn't come from a partner, it comes from presence. When you begin to honor your scars and accept your softness, something changes. You stop needing to be rescued. You stop settling for half love. And you stop bending yourself just to be chosen. Wholeness is magnetic. It speaks silently and attracts love that recognizes depth instead of feeding on insecurity. Relationships built on two full hearts don't drain, they multiply. But to get there, you must do the work of becoming enough in your own eyes. Stand firm in your worth before asking someone else to hold it. Because what you haven't yet given yourself, no one else can give you for long. It's easy to blame others for the pain they cause. It's harder to admit that we stayed because of the pain we already believed we deserved. Sometimes the people who hurt us are only matching the frequency we carried quietly. They didn't break us, they reflected what was already bruised. That's the hard truth. But it's also the path to freedom. Once you stop seeing others as the source of your suffering, you reclaim your power. You begin healing the part of you that thought pain was love, that thought silence was normal, that thought being misunderstood was the price of companionship. When you shift that belief, everything around you shifts too. The people you once tolerated will no longer appeal to you, and the people you once feared you'd lose will fall away on their own. Healing reveals what was real and what was residue, and it helps you finally choose better. When you finally treat your inner world like sacred ground, love enters quietly, gently, without chaos. You stop begging for attention. You stop performing for validation. You simply become a place where peace lives. And people feel that. They sense when someone has done the work. They sense when someone is no longer shaken by loneliness or driven by insecurity. That kind of presence doesn't just attract people, it filters them. Those who come with noise won't stay. Those who come to honor will feel at home. When your soul becomes your sanctuary, relationships no longer hurt, they heal. You're not looking for someone to complete you. You're welcoming someone who complements the piece you've already built. That's real love. But it begins with the relationship you have with yourself when no one's watching. Honor that space and the world will honor it too. You keep asking for love to arrive, but have you become it? Not in words, but in energy. If love knocked on your door today, would it find a heart ready to receive, or one still holding on to ghosts? To become love is to live in the frequency of it daily, not only when someone shows up. It's in how you speak, how you forgive, how you rise after disappointment. It's in how you hold yourself when no one else does. That's the love that calls in the lasting kind. You don't need to search far and wide. You need to become what you seek. And when you do, love finds you, not because you hunted it down, but because it recognized its reflection in you. Become the vibration, and the right person will match it, not by accident, but by alignment. Your relationships will only rise to the level of your self-worth. If you believe you're only worthy of temporary attention, that's what you'll get. If you believe love must hurt to be real, pain will keep finding you. But the moment you raise your standard, life will rise to meet it. The people who once intrigued you will suddenly feel heavy. The dynamics you once entertained will feel foreign. Because when your belief in your worth changes, everything around you must follow. Relationships will stop being tests and start becoming treasures. But that shift begins inside. Speak to yourself like someone worth loving. Show up for yourself like someone you admire. You teach the world how to treat you by how you treat yourself. Upgrade that, and everything else upgrades too. Your outer love life is nothing but an echo of your inner love story. Healing your inner world is not about isolation. It's about alignment. You're not sitting in silence to be lonely, you're sitting in strength. Every time you choose healing, you're not delaying love, you're defining it. You're showing the universe what you're ready for. And more importantly, what you're no longer willing to entertain. The space you create through healing is not empty, it's powerful. It's sacred. It's magnetic. The more whole you become inside, the more specific your energy becomes. You'll no longer attract everyone, you'll attract alignment. That's the gift of doing the work. You clear out what never fit, and you make room for what truly belongs. You're not being forgotten, you're being prepared. And the love that meets you after you've healed will feel different, not because they're perfect, but because you are finally aligned.